Getting reports of somebody in a white van trying to snatch up young girls for human trafficking and for selling body parts, I'm told. So we have to really be careful because there's so much evil going on, not just in the city of Baltimore, but around the country.
Well, tonight, the two girls told police officers they were walking home from school when the van passed them and then backed up. That's when they say the driver hopped out and chased after the little girls. The driver then got back into the van and left. Now get this, the two kids say the van had a cage or a fence behind the driver's seat.
Folks in the Sacramento neighborhood are wondering about a van advertising free candy.
The neighborhood kids were thrilled and curious.
11-year-old girl told sheriff's deputies a man tried to snatch her off the street.
Wednesday evening, an 11-year-old girl was walking her dog in front of her house when this white work van pulled up. The man inside allegedly told the little girl to get in. They did find nearby businesses who captured that white van on surveillance video. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office shared these photos on their Facebook page. More neighbors came forward with more images of the van, but so far, no one has spotted the suspect.
We're getting reports of somebody in a white van trying to snatch up young girls for human trafficking and for selling body parts, I'm told. So we have to really be careful because there's so much evil going on, not just in the city of Baltimore, but around the country.
There's so much evil going on around the world. The entire New World Order establishment has been taken over by the dark side. There is no denying the evidence. There is no denying what's going on out there. And their sole weakness in terms of public opinion is their affinity for children. They must snatch the children. They must rape the children. You've seen the creepy Biden footage. You've seen the Podesta files. You were laughing in 2016 when the WikiLeaks came out. You're not laughing anymore. They whacked Epstein. Everybody is implicated in this trafficking scheme. Whether you like where the evidence goes or not is really another question. But the entire New World Order is implicated, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got some remarkable footage that is really going to blow you away. But remember this footage here at Congress during the impeachment hearings just a few weeks ago. We saw this transformation, this guy go fully demonic, fully Johnny demonic right there. Looks like he just got possessed, in need of an exorcism on C-SPAN. And then you could see the devil horns on his forehead. We see this quite often on the faces of the possessed. We're going to show you more examples of that. Be prepared to be blown away by this video evidence, ladies and gentlemen. So we just love these NATO gatherings because you get to see the entire diabolical establishment pictured here, showing their true colors. Now, notice the placement of the devil horns. You're going to see this just like this on everybody's forehead that's about to show up. These are your world leaders. These are the people in charge of the military-industrial complex. These are the people in charge of protecting you that are bringing the death towers closer, mandating the vaccines, the pesticides, the fluoride, the eugenics programs. Pay attention to this one. This is a piece of work as well. Hardcore demonic. Leader of Belgium. Dark side. At the center of the dark side. The capital of the European Union. Most people have no idea what's going on with these socialists, with these communists. They're all worshiping the devil. They've all got the devil horns. Are you noticing this, ladies and gentlemen? Tell us what you think in the comments. Look at this one. This guy's a piece of work as well. Sodom and Gomorrah. He brought his husband to the NATO organization. Look at those nice devil horns. It shows. It shows, ladies and gentlemen. There's no hiding from Stranger Than Fiction News. Of course, they're all trying to ban these broadcasts because they're just so... Look at that one. Whoa. They're all demons in disguise. We're just going to play a couple more because there's more. It gets better. It doesn't stop. And the one with the biggest horns must obviously be the winner. And I think we have a winner here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the size of that one. Huh? You like that one? Yeah, there you go. We got a winner. And he gets cheeky too. You know, look at that. He's like patting Johnson right there on the belly. And then just give him a sec. He's going to point right at it, right on live TV. Johnson's smiling. He can't take it anymore. He's like, that guy. And here comes another one, ladies and gentlemen. More. It's like an endless stream. And, you know, most people were watching something else, but we were watching this and we were like, look at that. Look at that. That's exactly what we're expecting. And that's what's, you know, beautiful about this broadcast. I mean, we're just showing you the world for what it is. It's like they live. It's like all of a sudden you got the glasses. You can see it, ladies and gentlemen. You've woken up. You've woken up. But the question is, what are you waking up to? And quite literally, it's the epic struggle of good versus evil out there. It's not about Republican versus Democrat. That's the show. You know, every time there's a fight, whether it be the schoolyard, on the bus, you know, in the city, as soon as people are fighting, people gather around, they want to watch. It's a spectacle. It's entertainment. It's, you know, it keeps you distracted. You should be doing something else. But, of course, you know, Epstein was murdered, and now we're talking about impeachment, and that's part of the program, because as long as you're watching them fight each other, as long as you're fighting yourselves, then you're certainly not fighting back against this new world order, this demonic takeover, this invasion from another world. Literally, might as well be. They're poisoning the food, the air, the water. They're terraforming the planet. They're sexualizing your kids. You know, who knows how many people are going missing? And the news is covering it up. And, you know, they can talk whatever they want to talk out there. But there's something going on, and it looks like they're dropping clones and Westworld, you know, robots out there. They seem to be, you know, having their issues. We've seen them kind of go offline every once in a while, ladies and gentlemen, but that really doesn't change the facts here. It looks like an invasion from another world. It looks like the demonic takeover. It looks like these people that are running the show are part of the program, and everybody's kind of, you know, noticed that for themselves, and they just seem to describe it in a slightly different way. And however you want to, you know, look at it, whoever you want to attribute the blame for all the, you know, the miseries of the world, look no further than, you know, the dark side. Evil is as evil does. And these are the people that we've been looking for. And we've got a country divided amongst itself, thinking that they're fighting for the right cause. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's being manipulated. It's a pyramid scheme, and everything that's going on right now is part of their program. We just love these videos, watching this New World Order get together and perform their ceremonies here. While this might just look like a meet and greet, there's certainly a whole lot more going on, to say the least. Of course, yesterday we covered the big news that, you know, the Queen was basically telling everybody to take a hike, and we've got some interesting footage here. So she says get out. She says that to a lot of people, made you wonder. Check out the archives. Check out our website, stfnreport.com. This is Stranger Than Fiction News, broadcasting live from the dark side of the planet. And how many people saw the red shift in the eyes here? And, you know, this is more of this They Live phenoms that you're going to see, not only on TV, but in the real world. If you pay attention to people's eyes, you'll see some red shifters out there. And this is part of the suspected demonic takeover. And, you know, people can describe it any way they want to, but now you've just got a few people, all of the same mindset, in charge of all of the corporations, in charge of the governments. And, you know, we're just way at the bottom of this pyramid, like slaves in New Babylon. And many people are looking for a way out. Many people are looking for a way to escape this new world that we live in, and it's only going to get worse as they roll out their robocops and robots and automate the workforce, as the unemployment skyrockets due to, you know, the assimilation by big tech. You know, it's really going to start looking like Soylent Green out there. And they're forecasting like 85% of jobs are going to get unemployed. What are people going to do? They're going to become obsolete. People are going to become obsolete. And, you know, soon they're going to be, you know, brain chipping people. You'll get the brain implants. You'll get, you know, the Neuralink. You get plugged into the Matrix. You'll be competing, you know, for jobs against people like that. Where do you think you're going to go there? Ladies and gentlemen, straight to the workshop to get your own brain implant. Check out these new photos. It shows the president at the Pimp and Hose gathering. And supposedly this is a new picture. So we've got them together once again, the trio. And you look, you know, a lot of people have their own, you know, mixed feelings about what went on there. But it seems like children were trafficked out of the club, the Mar-a-Lago club. And after that came out, that's when they started, you know, distancing themselves. So, look, I mean, obviously people like Trump a whole lot better than they like these fake-ass Democrats, demon rats, ladies and gentlemen. But that doesn't mean that this lifelong New Yorker is on your side. Quite the contrary. You know, all these people on TV are basically clones, you know, more or less of the same bloodline. They're the elite, if you will. It's that big club and you're not in it. And, you know, it's like the most, you know, basic form of discrimination that's going on out there right now. Either you're part of this, you know, cult of death, the inner, you know, celebrity circles and the like, or you're just a sheeple out there waiting to get dosed. And you get to watch, you know, the rich and famous on TV, and it just kind of fuels, you know, the jealousy, the envy, the 7 deadly sins, which really, you know, is at the core of our, you know, society, if you will. And look, we're not going to, you know, spend a whole lot of time talking about, you know, injustice, if you will. There's always been injustice. And obviously things are much better today than they were 100 years ago in terms of, you know, living standards for even, you know, the poorest of people out there, for the most part, with some exceptions. But, you know, this is basically going to, end relatively soon. And with the automation, with the assimilation that's coming, you know, it's going to be everybody's worst nightmare. And that process has already begun. And people are celebrating this system. You know, they think that somehow they're on the winning side, that somehow they'll escape, you know, what's coming. And obviously, you know, from the Christian perspective, we know what's coming. We know how this story ends, and the book of Revelation makes it pretty clear of what this beast system is going to look like. And for the first time in 2,000 years, you know, we can see that in living color. But you just have to hope, if that's, you know, if that might be a warning, and that we may have an opportunity to escape, you know, that fate. We can see why this beast system will be the way it is and who's responsible. And they, you know, they don't try to hide the fact that they're full-blown cult members out there. So you just have to wonder if people are going to wake up before it's too late and put an end to all of this evil while there's still time. And even though it looks pretty, helpless, hopeless right now, death towers are going up everywhere. Vaccines are mandated. They have full control of the media, of the television, of the conversation, thanks to the censorship and, the monopolies that control the socialist media platforms. Despite all of that, hopefully we'll be able to, fight back somehow. And there's been some pretty daring people that have already tried to, take out these death towers and the like. It's risky business. Obviously, it's illegal. And, I think some people out there are going to have the perspective that it's really self-defense. I mean, these things are really coming up in your neighborhood, and they're meant to, seek and destroy 24/7. And they're indiscriminate. They don't care, how old you are, what color you are, what sex you are. These death towers don't care about that. This program that's out there doesn't care, if you're a Republican or a Democrat. These death towers are the same for everybody. And the studies are conclusive. The studies are clear that, this radiation is bad news on every metric. It attacks the nervous system, it attacks the immune system, it causes genetic mutations, and the like, which is basically, ends up being an adjuvant or an accelerant for all sorts of diseases and the like. They're spraying everybody like bugs out there, ladies and gentlemen. It is the mass assimilation. It is the mass extermination. Life expectancy is going down. Among other, metrics that you have to look at, it's obvious that whatever is going on out there, it's bad news for humanity. They're literally trashing the planet, poisoning everything, and soon there'll be nothing left. There'll be nowhere to go for fresh air, nowhere to go for fresh water, nowhere to go for fresh food, natural food. There'll be no escaping the death towers. There'll be no escaping the RoboCops. There'll be no escaping the Big Brother surveillance and the self-censorship and the hyper-normalization. There'll be no escaping, what's coming unless people, fight back now. And that really isn't, something that anyone would seriously contemplate. It's almost so locked down now. You open your trap, you try to fight back, and, it's the SWAT team at your door. So what will people do? You don't get to vote in the elections. You get to pretend in the selection. And they just keep you busy in between these elections with the television and, attempt to make it all look legitimate. Do you think what's happening right now has any semblance of legitimacy? Any semblance of people doing the right thing? Does it look like they're actually working to make this country a better place? I mean, they say they are, but are they actually doing it? Or are they just, keeping you busy while the death towers roll closer to your homes, among other things? If people can't agree on the eugenics programs, they're never going to agree on anything. And that's why, we choose to focus on that more than just about anything else that we cover. But we do want to talk about, what's going on in the news right now. The Democrats, have announced to their networks that they are impeaching the president. It is now on everybody's phone, everybody's device, everybody's television. The beast system has spoken. They are impeaching the president. And the president really hasn't done anything to defend himself. I mean, he tweets, he talks the talk. But I mean, you'd think that he would round these commies up. You'd think he'd be rounding up these cult members, all these people that have been, trashing our country for the last 40 or 50 years. We've gone from Leave It to Beaver, Happy Days, I Love Lucy, Mr. Ed, We went from that to, you know, what's going on right now in America. Who's responsible for that shit? Anybody remember the pre-9/11 world? Who's responsible for what we have today? You know, these Democrats, this cult of death, this pedo wood, these, you know, Luciferian libtards out there, for the most part, are the most to blame for what's going on right now. And you know, look, to put it in a clear perspective, they're just minions for the devil. But this devil has an army, and you know, their flag is, you know, the libtard flag, the rainbow flag, and the like. And these people mean business. They're organized. They communicate in real time. They're motivated. They don't care. They're, you know, about who stands in their way. They're going to win. And you could see, I mean, even this president, with all, you know, with every resource at his disposal, can't fend off the attacks. Is it, you know, on purpose, or is it just, you know, a hopeless, you know, last stand? I guess we'll have to see where that story ends, but we do want to play a couple clips of what transpired just recently. And
I don't have to raise in a Catholic house. We don't hate anybody, not anybody in the world.
Relax, Jim.
Accuse me.
I did not accuse you.
You did.
I asked the question.
You did. And
Representative Collins yesterday suggested that the Democrats are doing this simply because they don't like the
I
guy.
had nothing to do with it. Let me just say this.
I think it's important.
I think the president is a coward when it comes to helping our
wow, did you hear this one? Look, we should have added, like, you know, some graphic language there, but she just called the president a coward. I mean, he doesn't seem like a coward. This woman seems crazy, and she's got the 5G syndrome. Watch her just go full-blown schizophrenic and, you know, basically, you know, gyrate in front of you. Just check this out.
kids who are afraid of gun violence. I think he is cruel when he doesn't deal with helping our dreamers, of which we're very proud. I think he's in denial about the climate crisis. However, that's about the election. This is about the elect. Take it up in the election. This is about the Constitution.
This is about her going down to hell, and she wants to take everybody with her, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, she's talking about the president not wanting to work with her on gun control. He's tried numerous times. We've heard it numerous times during the press conferences, and we were like, what are they trying to give up now? Bump stocks, red flag laws, what's next? And, you know, as far as dreamers, I think they've attempted to, you know, bridge the gap there. And look, I mean, everything that comes out of this woman's mouth is just pure nonsense. These people literally are crazy. They've been elected by the crazies. They're fucking crazy. And now they just want to totally doom us all. And I think the president really has to act. You know, he's got to send in the military. We need to deport these libtards. And as difficult as that might sound, it's probably better that we do so, because you know, the worst is yet to come. And sometimes you just really need to be proactive instead of reactive. We know where this is going. We know what these people are up to. We know who they represent. It's about time that we quit pretending like it's just about Republican versus Democrat. These people serve the devil, ladies and gentlemen, and there's no mistaking.
Isn't to question that.
And you gave $2,000 to Hillary Clinton?
That's correct.
Why so much more for Hillary than the other two?
Because I've been giving a lot of money to charity recently because of all of the poor people in the United States.
Well,
so she's just saying that Hillary's poor. This is a professor of spin from Stanford, California. And somehow, I mean, you know, the Democrats are trying to, you know, lecture America, you know, have us sit down in a college lecture and listen to, you know, a libtard professor try to justify impeachment. Well, according to, you know, the world out there in California, this all makes sense. But look, anybody been to California lately? Have you seen what a shithole it's become? Pardon the language. They want that for the entire country. They think that's prosperity. They think that's progress. It looks like devolution, not evolution, and that's exactly what they teach in schools. And, you know, that's another problem with what's going on out there. The reason that we have so many libtards, so many freaks, if you will, is because of the education that they're receiving. And this administration gets an F on reforming education in this country because it's still run by libtards sexualizing your children, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, the reason that things are so messed up now is because of the indoctrination. And, you know, you've got libtard professors just basically radicalizing children, turning them into commie atheists, selling them ideas like, you know, it begins with the Santa Claus, which is an anagram for the devil, and then it goes to evolution or devolution. And if you check out Darwin, I mean, that dude was like into incest and all sorts of dark-sided shit. They were just looking, you know, to make something up to try to sell to their fellow atheists. Or should we say devil worshippers. But look, science has totally disproven devolution, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to look at the law of biogenesis. That says that life can only come from life. You can't get a chicken from a rock. You can't get a fish from, you know, chemicals. And that's just the way it is. I mean, you can't make a car out of just, you know, raw materials. It has to go through a process, and what we see in human life is a marvel of nano engineering. It's right there in the DNA. It's a programming language. It produces the proteins for life. You know, if you're interested in that, you should check out the documentary Unlocking the Mysteries of Life. That'll have you running for the Bible by the end of it, because what they've sold you in schools, it's 100% lie, and pretty much 100% lie, just to brainwash you and to keep you in the dark. And that's exactly where the dark side wants you, in the dark, with doubt, with anxiety, anger, fear, you know, emotions of the dark side, negative emotions that bring you down to hell, down on Route 66. And look, I mean, it's all about that for these people. That's their religion. That's their world. That's all they promote. They speak lies, not truth. And you know, you can tell them by their fruits, and you can tell them by their horns. And these people, you know, we should have brought up the Peter Strzok, you know, video. You could see the massive horns on that, you know, on that person as well. And look, I mean, maybe it's symbolic. Maybe it's something else. Maybe you're actually seeing, you know, a physical manifestation of some sort of dark spirit right there on the person's face. We'll have to leave it there for this broadcast. Check out our website, stfnreport.com. Support our show. We're listener supported. Help us reach more people. And you can check out our patreon.com/STF News. And we've spotted new clones out there. We're looking to make new compilations, but they're definitely cloning people. You're seeing new hybrids all the time. And it's just a matter of time before it's, you know, Westworld, Terminators, Robocops, cyborgs out there looking at you like you're yesterday's news. And, you know, they'll be looking to assimilate, ladies and gentlemen. Until the next time, if you're listening to this, be sure to check out the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.